everyone. This is Gail Dudley, and it is time for News in Motion. Yes, it is, y'all. It is Thursday, people. We have made it to Thursday. It is Thursday, April the 21st, 2022, and I'm so glad that you are coming in the room. So come on in the room, people. Let's see what's happening for today. Y'all, again, it is Thursday, April 21st. We are almost through April. Can y'all believe it? Can you believe it? We are almost through the month of April. I know some people may have some challenges getting on today. Hopefully, that's not the case. There's a lot of rain that's going on in the Midwest and going towards the east. I see you, Dr. Antoinette. Good AM to you. But if you come on, do us a favor, y'all. Hit that share button. I see you, Latrice Jones. I see you. I see you, Adrian. I see you, Jeffrey Allen James. I see you, Marion Jackson. I see you, Deborah Sneed. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, Ron Robinson. What's up? What's up to you? What's up to you? Y'all, listen, go ahead, do us a favor, hit that share button and invite somebody to come in to get just a little bit of this aggregated news that we share right here on News in Motion. I see you, Patricia Lyles. I see all of you coming up in here. Again, there's some crazy weather going on out there. It took both of us, myself and Isaiah, a few times to try to get on in this stream. Hopefully, we will not lose you over the course of our being on live broadcast. But if we do, y'all just know that we love you and we'll just come back here on Monday. But in the meantime, y'all, my name is Gail Dudley, and I am the host of News in Motion. If you are tuning in by audio, I just want to say welcome. If you're watching the replay, thank you for spending a little bit of your day with us. My goal right here is to give you aggregated news from multiple media outlets. We receive news alerts all the time. We go through and we do our research, then we put together our run of the show for the morning, and then we give it to you. Sometimes we get it wrong every now and then, but so far that hasn't happened in a long time. But if we do our best to come back and give you an update of what's going on. I see you, Kenny Stanley. Good morning to you. Hey, y'all, listen, somebody asked me this question on yesterday, and I thought I would address it here this morning before we go into our intro, and that is this. They were asking me about the mask mandate. And if I love the government telling me what to do. Well, let me answer that question for you this morning. I like my freedom. I absolutely do. And I believe in science. I do that as well. I have friends and family who are in the STEM field and who are scientists. And I believe in the work that they're doing. They're studying it. I don't know anything about it. So for me, because I am immune compromised, I make the decision to wear my mask in public. And I will do that even after all the mandates have been lifted as they look currently right now. Just know that the DOJ has appealed the judge's ruling of the mask mandates on transportation, whether it's trains, planes, automobiles, if you're in like a taxi or a Lyft or an Uber or whatever. So that's going to continue to play out. I don't know what's going to come, but I believe in reporting the news and reporting the facts. But beyond that, what you do, you do. My place is to encourage you to do what's right for you, as I've been doing from day one. With that, y'all, let's get this news started. Yes, I see you, Diane Ladybug. What's up, sister? I see you, Pastor Alex. I see you, Sardinia. Good morning to all of you. All right, y'all, let me just continue where I left off by answering the question of one of our viewers who asked me yesterday. It is true that the Biden administration on yesterday appealed a federal court ruling striking down the mask requirement for passengers on planes, trains, buses, and other public transportation after the Center of Disease Control and Prevention concluded that the mandate was in fact necessary to protect the public and the spread of coronavirus. This is what I want to say about this. It's too bad that this has become a political thing and not being concerned about the the health and safety of its people. Pastor Alex said the government tells us to pay taxes and we do. What's the difference about the mask mandate? Well, there's that. Thank you for that, Pastor Alex. Deborah Sneed said, I will wear my mask. I am not putting my mask on so you wait a minute, let me read it again. I am not, thank you for moving that. I am not putting my mask on you. So why be concerned about what I do? Exactly. Exactly. So y'all, that's what's happening. But again, it's so sad that we have made this more political than health related, and the safety of the American people or of the world. So we have that to contend with. The other thing I want to share that's coming out with the mask is that many places are now saying, nope, you can't get off the plane and come into our facilities, our airports, our restaurants, and so forth. So you still have to have that mask on your person, because when you get off that plane, you're going to have to put it on. And they're looking at ways of making sure that is carried out. So you just don't want the hassle, people. You don't want the hassle. All right, y'all. AP News is reporting that Russian forces narrowed in on the remaining Ukrainian forces in Mariupol yesterday. Yeah, after I guess really extensively bombing that area, it's officials said the attacks prevented the establishment of an evacuation corridor, which means people were stuck there. They did not even have a way out. They were not able to evacuate. I see you, Deborah Johnson. Good morning to you. Y'all, at least 1,000 civilians are believed to have been taken refuge inside a steel complex along the Ukrainian forces. A Ukrainian commander yesterday issued a desperate plea, saying his troops likely had only hours left to live, absent outside of intervention. Y'all, BBC News is reporting that more than 5 million people are estimated to have fled Ukraine during the 2-month war. Another 6.5 million eternally are displaced. So they're people they can't even identify or find. Y'all, Poland has taken in nearly 3 million Ukrainians, roughly equal to 8% of the population. I see you, Stephanie Burbridge Hall. So y'all, we want to continue to pray for Ukraine. Pray that God will hear our prayers and this war will be over. Please pray that. Please pray that. Please pray that. I see y'all still coming in here. Y'all, that mask thing hit a nerve with y'all, didn't it? Dr. Antoinette said, as for me and my house, we are masked. Kenny Stanley said, my wife, my 2 kids, and myself are fully vaccinated. We want to give a shout out to Kenny Stanley and his wife, Kelly Stanley. It's out there, so I can say it here on the broadcast. They have officially, it's now completely official. They have adopted a young boy, and he's doing well in their household. The family is great, and we just want to say congratulations to you, Kenny. Y'all, that's community. That's community when you see a need and you have the resources and the availability to do what they've done. You know, we joked as they were going through, because I was one of the people praying alongside them. We joked about, you really want to do this, dude? Y'all know how old y'all are? And they were like, yes, we want to do it. And it's such a perfect match. And it's a beautiful relationship. So congratulations to you, Kenny and Kelly Stanley. Yeah, congratulations. All right, y'all. The Columbus Dispatch and ABC News is reporting, along with the People magazine and Washington Post and NPR. But I had to shout out the Ohio local news. Listen. The Ohio jury acquitted former Dr. William Hassel yesterday on charges he purposely killed critically ill patients at a Columbus-based hospital by prescribing lethal doses of fentanyl and other painkillers during the end-of-life care. Now, the defense argued the dosing practices, I want y'all to hear this, provide comfort care for dying patients, and no maximum dose is considered illegal under Ohio law. Right there, y'all, we got to look at a law. We got to think about legislation and changes right there. And although that's happening in Ohio, it could be happening in your state. But hold on. Now, the prosecution argued the high doses, up to 10 times the standard dose, were unnecessary and accelerated the deaths. Now, here's the contradiction, because I was looking, I had to call my medical friends. I'm not a doctor, but I had to get some information. Now, it's a contradiction because Ohio's law says there's no maximum doses is considered illegal under, again, the Ohio law. However, the prosecution said that they were 10 times up to 10 times the standard dose. They were high doses. So how can you have a standard and not have a maximum under the Ohio law? That's the question. So y'all, as constituents, we should be flooding these town hall meetings asking this question, saying, where's the legislation with this? Again, I'm sharing this with you from the state of Ohio, but this could be happening in your neck of the woods as well, saying, okay, how did we have a standard, and how can you say it's 10 times higher dosage from the standard, but you're telling me that there's no maximum dose under the Ohio state law? There's a discrepancy, y'all, and this needs to be addressed. So legislation, voting is tied into this, because if I'm voting for you, are you going to do what you need to do to take care of this? Leave that up there, Kenny. I'm coming. Leave that up there, Isaiah. I'm going to come deal with that in a moment. And then what do we do with this? What are some of the questions? What's some of the messaging that we should be asking behind this? Because y'all, that's a lot. That is a lot. You say 10 times higher than the standard, but there's no maximum. Well, how do you have a standard if there's no maximum? So y'all, there's something wrong with that law. So legislation. So how do we go and write a bill? How do we go and partner with our representatives? What are the questions we should be asking as constituents to our representatives? So Kenny has up here the nurses who lost their jobs following the written doctor's order need their jobs back, doing along with their back pay. Well, let's talk about that. Now, in early 2019, because I did my research, in early 2019, Ohio Mount Carmel Health System, that's the health system, that's the hospital they're referring to, that's where the doctor was working, reported that 48 nurses and pharmacists to their respective licensing boards after the intensive care doctor they worked with was accused of ordering excessive doses of painkillers, resulting in dozens of patients' deaths. So they were reported. Many of them lost their license, they lost their jobs. So that's what Kenny is saying. Well, if he's off scot-free, and they were only following his orders, and when they interviewed several people, there were 53 people who were on the witness for the prosecution. There was one on the side of the defense. So we should be asking that question. So Kenny had asked me a question yesterday on Facebook. What do we do? Well, we start advocating for the nurses by going to the licensing board, by writing letters to the licensing board. We also need to get our representatives involved in this as well, because it's an issue, because legislation needs to be changed. So there's so much work we can do. We can also petition the hospital to hire them back once they get their license back. And then I agree with Kenny, back pay. There's so much there. There's so much there. But y'all, this is that platform that we always need to be focused on. We cannot just vote and be done with it. We have to at times follow the money. We have to at times follow what legislation's out there and what needs to be changed. Let me see what some of you are saying. Patricia Lau says, right, if he isn't going to jail, they should get their jobs back with back pay. Deborah Sneed says, right, does not make sense. Right, this does not make sense. Ron Robinson says, I just wondering if the doctor was a person of color, would the outcome have been different? Yeah, I'm just saying too. I'm with you there. Latrice Jones says, Ron, they couldn't convict him after the police officer mistrial. And then Mike Nicholson, good morning. What's up? Good morning. So glad you're out and about. Ron said, and doctor went to prison for giving Michael Jackson the same medication. He was a person of color. So y'all, there's so much. And these are the conversations we should not be afraid to have. And we need to put them out there on the forefront. This is why y'all laugh at me, but I sit up in some town hall meetings. What are y'all talking about? If nothing more, I'm sitting there, I'm observing, I'm listening, I'm taking notes, and then deciding, do I send a letter? Do I do something with the newspaper editorial? Do I have a conversation? Do I ask a question? Y'all, this is community, this is civic engagement, and we can't just have these side conversations. We also have to get involved. All right, y'all. So we got to keep dealing with that. Fred Jones said those nurses need a union for that. They also need attorneys. They also need pro bono attorneys who's willing to take this on. They also need advocates like us that's ready to go deal with this. So I'm all in. So y'all let me know who's the lead, Latrice Jones. All right, y'all. Instagram is begging you to stop it. Instagram said enough of this. Mark Zuckerberg says, I'm not having it. Y'all, Instagram is going all in. Y'all getting ready to get in trouble on Instagram. They want y'all to stop reposting TikToks to Reels. They're like, that ain't ours. We don't want it on our platform. Stop doing it. Create your own reel on our platform. Don't bring their reel on the ours, because if you do, this is what they're going to do. They're going to downrank you and nobody's going to be able to find your stuff. Stop it. That's what Instagram is saying. Just stop it. That's The Verge that's reporting it. Latrice Jones says she would get put out of town hall meetings. No, you got to learn how to have your composure. We can sit together. That might not be good either. All right, y'all. Also, y'all, CNN reporting ASAP. Is that how his name is said? ASAP Rocky, is that his name? He was detained by police in Los Angeles International Airport on yesterday in connection to a November 2021 shooting that left the victim with a minor injury. That's what the Los Angeles police are saying. He came back on a private jet, thought he was just going to get off and go get in his car, but they was waiting for him to arrest him. Yeah, he had been away with his girlfriend, his, I guess, fiance. Now, I don't know if they're getting engaged. That's a back and forth conversation. Rihanna, he came back after vacationing with her, and they were like, you are under arrest. So that's happening there, y'all. So, y'all, what's happening with the housing market? What's happening with that? All right, let me see what y'all saying. Latrice said, our Instagram is salty. Mike Nicholson says the workaround is to screen record your TikTok and then post it to Reels. When I was reading the article, that's what different people were saying. So you're spot on there. Latrice said, you know what happened the last time we sat together at something? Yeah, so now we got to tell everybody what that was, Latrice. You know, Latrice be getting me in trouble and I be getting her in trouble. So we decided to go to this event. All right, y'all. We were into, Kim Edmondson, you'll get a kick out of this. We were into like, okay, let's start flipping some homes, you know, because we're talking about wealth building and doing some things. This is before the pandemic, y'all. So we went to this workshop. And when we went to a workshop that we weren't supposed to be, we were the only people that looked like us. So we sat there and everybody was like, oh, Lynn, no, we had questions. Now, Latrice, the only two brown people in the room, y'all, we had questions because we saw flaws in the presentation. And people were signing up for this thing that was what, $1, $2, $3, $4,000. And me and Latrice back there, that doesn't, one and one doesn't equal 5. So where were you coming from with that? And they started ignoring us, but we kept asking questions that allowed people around us to start looking at us like, maybe they right. Then they was giving away, you know, quote unquote free gifts. They did not, they wanted us out the room. Once it was over, they were like, get out of the room. Y'all just exposed us. But see, y'all, that's what happens even in town hall meetings. You go in knowing, let's study different things that are topics. From those topics, I'm going to talk about them. And you expose it. You ask the question. You can do it real cool, y'all. Y'all can do this real cool. All right, y'all, what's next in the housing market? In Reuters, U.S. home sales dropped to the lowest level in nearly 2 years in March as house prices raced to a record high and could decline further with mortgage rates now hitting 5%. Now, a report from the National Association of Realtors on Wednesday showed the drop in sales in February was much steeper than initially recorded. So, y'all, it was a much deeper drop. Now, even with home sales reverting back to pre-pandemic levels, the housing market, they're saying, remains hot. But people have questions as how can this remain hot if things are dropping? So we don't know. We're going to stay tuned and keep bringing y'all that information. But I guess now is the time to sell if you're thinking about it, because I guess it's about to flip to a buyer's market. I don't know. We're going to stay in the know with that as much as we can. In other news, now Tesla, we got to talk about Elon Musk for a moment. Tesla, 18.76 billion in revenue the first quarter. First quarter, y'all, 18.76 billion in revenue and record margins in quarter one. That's CNBC reporting. Now, his product is the bomb. You can't argue the man's product. That Tesla is the bomb. Please stay away from Twitter. We know you're just trying to bring back the old occupant. And y'all don't hate anybody who's driving a Tesla. Don't hate anybody who's driving a Lexus or an Audi or a BMW or a Ford or whatever. Trust me, I've done my research. All of them got problems, and all of them are paying money to different packs that we wouldn't want to deal with or appreciate. But that's why we, as Black and brown people, need to figure out, when do we build a car and a brand and put it out there? I'm just saying. Y'all, Tesla just reported first quarter earnings for 2022 and beat analysis expectations on the top and bottom lines. Here are the key numbers. Earning per share, $3.22 versus $2.26 that was expected. Revenue, 18.76 billion versus 17.80 billion expected. Shares rose as high as 6% in after-hour tradings. So there's that. Mike Nicholson says, Gail telling us she got a Tesla. She got a Tesla. I did not say that. I said that their products is off the chain, and you can't argue that. Mike Nicholson, get off of here. He's cracking me up. Y'all, United Airlines is ready for a comeback. Yes, CNBC reporting. United Airlines expected to turn a profit in 2022 for the first time since before the pandemic, as bookings rise and passengers appear willing to pay more to fly. I'm not willing to pay more to fly. Not with y'all taking the mask away and we in that enclosed tube for an hour, 4 hours, 12 hours. I ain't doing that. United shares rose more than 7% in after-hour trading Wednesday after it released an upbeat outlook. Now, the forecast suggests that airlines are at a turning point in the pandemic recovery. That's still, we don't know, y'all. We don't know. Y'all, in Apple stores, the Apple store workers in Atlanta filed for the company's first union election. 70% of the workers at the Atlanta Apple store wants to join the CWA. That's happening. Y'all, Axios reports COVID fraud schemes. We've been seeing that. Why are you just talking about it? Y'all, federal prosecutors have brought criminal charges against 21 people who were allegedly involved in various healthcare fraud schemes related to COVID-19 pandemic, the Department of Justice announced on yesterday. Yeah, y'all, 149 million these are what the defendants siphoned off of more than 149 million through schemes that included overcharging for medical services and creating and selling fake vaccine cards, among other charges. Yeah, y'all, 21 defendants. So let me talk about this real quick, and then we got to bring on Isaiah, but hold on, we're going to get to him in one moment. Let's talk about this real quick. Now, y'all let these people who are already multimillionaires, some of them billionaires, run off with this PPP money, and y'all turned a blind eye on it. Now, some of them worked for the previous occupants administration. That ain't for, when did they need money? Yeah, I'm so sick of the disparities. I really am. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were letting me know that people who are in their millions or billions, if they bounce something with their money going from being wired from one place to another, they don't get it. They get like 31 days to fix it or correct it. If you have $10 in the bank and you bounce a check, you getting that $30, $35, $40 fee, and they want you to do it immediately, or it's going to mess up your credit, or they're going to close your account. Y'all, here's again legislation and things that we need to be saying in these town hall meetings. I know y'all get sick of me saying this, but I am determined to do what I can do by educating you, using this platform and giving you some food for thought and things that you can do. Y'all, that ain't right. which also means everyone who went to any doctor during that time need to go check their medical bills to make sure that something wasn't charged. Yeah, because the vaccines were free. You shouldn't be charged. I always ask this question when we're getting our vaccines. Why do you need my insurance card? Why do you need my social security number? Why do you need all those things for the vaccine card? Well, I told you I got the new passport back in September, and it was on there. I was like, how y'all know? Well, because they had my social security number, they had everything they need to know. Plus, they know Big Brother's watching all day, every day. But I need to now go back and make sure I wasn't charged for anything. And I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. Seriously, seriously. And here's the other thing: how does a telehealth conversation with the doctor's appointment, where you're asking the nurse a question or whatever after you got the shot and you had a reaction, how does that cost just as much as going into the office? These are questions we need to be asking. And why is it that the insurance isn't paying for all of that too? Because it's a reaction to the shot that I received from your approved CDC vaccine information. Y'all, these are questions. These aren't questions to make you lose your mind or go crazy or become frustrated. These are educated questions that we need to be asking and continuing to have this dialogue. All right, y'all, know your rights, the laws of your city, your township, your HOA, your community, etc. New York Times is reporting, y'all, a loan tenant is like, I ain't moving. Even after this development came in and bought this building for $70 million in New York City, this dude named Osif said, I ain't leaving. I ain't leaving. I paid for it. I've been here 15 years. I ain't going nowhere. Then he filed for a pandemic thing. This can take years. And the developers are like mad. So now they're starting to offering him millions. He's like, I ain't going nowhere. No. He said, you can't move me out because we're still in the middle of a pandemic. We still have issues. Now New York is in their numbers are going up. He said, I ain't going nowhere. Y'all, the law says he has every right to stay there. Hello, somebody. You gotta know the law. You gotta know it. You gotta know it. Isaiah, come on in here, buddy. Come on in here, Isaiah. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone on News in Motion. How are y'all doing today?
We good. How you doing?
I am doing great. You see, I went through a little transformation over
I
break.
see it. I like it. I like it. Hey, listen, we had your mom on a couple of weeks ago. This is still Autism Awareness Month. And I want to ask you some questions because you are the big brother to Team Isaac. And we want to know your perspective as a brother, as a son. What is it like? What is your brother relationship like with your sibling?
Oh man. My brother relationship with Isaac, it's dynamic. I would like to say. Of course, I remember when doctor said he wouldn't be able to communicate, talk, be social in any way, shape, or form. Um, and that kind of bummed me out a bit because I thought, now mind you, I was around five or four at the time. I thought that I wouldn't have like a normal brotherhood with my sibling, or I wouldn't be able to, you know, have conversations or crack jokes with them. But nowadays, we play video games together. We, recite lines from Rush Hour because that's his favorite movie. It's given me hope, and it made me optimistic knowing that anything is possible. So I'm real protective of Isaac. Those of you who know me know that it's like my siblings. I'm real protective of my siblings, my parents, and everybody else come later. um
Y'all know, everybody now know where you stand. You come later. I
it,
come later too.
it's
Go
nothing
ahead.
personal, trust me, it's nothing personal, but I just got mad love, and I'm just real protective of my sister and my brother. Without them, you know they're my motivation for every day. um I'm just proud to say that, and I'm proud to do the best I can to make sure my brother can is able to navigate through this tough world, because you know without I want to make sure that nobody tries to take advantage of him.
I love that. I love that. So how have you managed, if I can ask this question, how have you managed your brother's diagnosis?
Um, like I said, I had hope. And we're so blessed to have a community or a village to look after him. Our church is kind of like his second home. He loves New Salem. Um, I just want to give a shout out to our pastor and the first lady, Pastor Troy and Mrs. Brenda Troy, for being his biggest supporters besides our family. To all the aunties, Miss Kim Emerson, I know she's on here, and the uncles in our community. I just want to say thank you for looking out for me and Isaac. Um, it's just like, man, sorry, I'm just getting a little, getting a little teared up right now,
It's
but
okay, brother. Look, it's okay.
I've been able to handle Isaac's diagnosis because we have a strong foundation, a strong community, and we never lost hope, we never lost faith. Um, and I was determined to make sure that we have a strong brotherhood, and he gets some sense on normal, even though it's not really normal for him.
Wow. Can I ask you one more question?
Absolutely.
Yay. Okay. What are some feelings that you've had then, knowing all the information in the beginning, versus now seeing Isaac's growth? What are
Wow.
some of those, if you don't mind sharing, what are some of those feelings?
Um, Definitely a sense of pride. Pride, um, you know, motivation, inspiration. That's another feeling I have from watching Isaac's growth. Not just physically, because he is basically looking me eye to eye right now. And I'm supposed to be the big brother. Um
I saw that picture. I was like, Latrice, you're shorter than everybody else, but go ahead.
Yeah, Isaac is looking me eye to eye right now. So you know, physically, I'm shocked at his growth, but spiritually and mentally, and emotionally as well, because he's definitely communicating a lot more. And my dad always says his comedic timing is on point. So seeing all those growths and the different aspects, it makes me feel proud knowing that you know, he's been able to overcome the odds, even at a young age. It makes me, it definitely puts into perspective that he can do all things through Christ.
Yeah.
Um, the way he was able to handle math problems and, looking at problems from a different perspective,
Mhm.
I could see the wheels turning in his head. It definitely makes you think, sit back, and if you know him and what he was told, it's an incredible story for real. And
And by now you've been working with me a while, so you know I lie every now and then when I say it's the last question. I do have one more. That's what I do. When I hear
I,
something, I gotta grab it and keep going. If there's anyone out there who's struggling and they've learned that their sibling has autism, or their sibling has any other type of um, just things that they're wanting them to be right there with them so they can hang out and do things, but they find out that, oh wow, this is going to be a different journey. What's something you would want to say to them to get them to still see and to still press and to still love and to still walk with that journey and be protective? What would that be?
number one, definitely be patient with them. Be patient with them. Understand that they don't have a disability; they have a different ability. Um,
Say that one more time, please.
please be patient with them. Understand that they don't have a disability. They just have a different ability. Okay. Sometimes, it can be whether they process things a little different than someone, or, sometimes they just have trouble putting in trying to find the words to say something. Um you know, always, and also use your resources. I remember this movie that we had. It was when Isaac was still kind of a baby. It was it was a baby signing time, and it was perfect for him to help him communicate using sign language sometimes, in case he was never really able to communicate using his words. And it had the signs for when you want something to eat, everything. So I remember watching that with him, and it helped him, you know, tell our parents, I want something to eat. So definitely be patient with them. Set some time aside to get to know them. Even though they're your sibling, you still want to get to know some of their favorite things. Get the basic stuff. Ask them what they want to do in life. Ask them, what their favorite animal is. Build off of that, so that way you can continue to help them develop their social skills and the communication skills. And also definitely have a support system, have a village, a community. um have definitely include them in social activities in the community. Make them feel included. That is key.
Wow, make them. I need everybody put in the chat. Make them feel included. That is key. And then the other thing he said, I hope I don't mess it up. They don't have a disability, but a different ability. I need all of y'all to put that in that chat. And y'all give the quote to Isaiah Jones. That's his quote. They don't have a disability. They have a different ability. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you
wow.
said
Thank
that
you
right.
so much. Listen, y'all. Um, Again, this month, Autism Awareness Month, I would like all of you to give to I can't think of your mom's nonprofit, Effect Institute. Is
Yeah,
that right?
the autism effect.
Autism, the Effect Institute. Please, y'all. She's using Make a Difference nonprofit as a pass through. They are her fiduciary agent, and I'm doing this all off the top of my head. So I think she's still on here. So Latrice, if you're still on here, please put in the chat your Cash App. Y'all, let's support this so that they can continue to educate other people on just what Isaiah just shared with us. I wanted to get the big brother interview today because y'all, I've seen their relationship and it is phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. So Isaiah, thank you. I'm so proud of you. You, love what you're doing. And I'm just ready to see you to continue to soar today and always. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you for allowing me to. Thank you for giving me the platform to, give a sibling's perspective. It's definitely important to get the sibling's perspective. I know it's important for the parents too, but it's just a different dynamic when it's your sibling. So I'm very proud of the Isaac and his growth. Um, I'm so grateful to you, all the aunties, our entire community, um, for loving us and supporting us. To my mom and my dad, I know it's been hard for y'all. I know. And I know my sister ain't on here, but I know it's hard for her too. But we're still riding this thing out. This isn't just something that is done when they're young. This is a forever type thing. So it's Team Isaac for life. That and that's something I always comment. Team Isaac for life. Not the letter four, like I mean the number four, not
Number
the
four.
letter, but I'm Team Isaac for life, and I wouldn't change that for anything.
I'm
Anything.
Team
So
Isaac for life too. And I know it's a different relationship, but I understand. Elizabeth Town says, I'm not crying, you are. What an amazing interview. Y'all, there's the Cash App. And Latrice said, please use Team Isaac in the comment. And I love that. They don't have a disability, they have a different ability. There's so much love coming to your family. Yes, we're all crying. Ron Robinson says, thank you for sharing, Isaiah.
anytime.
Just so much out there. Shirley Nicholson, they don't have a disability, they have it. That's a powerful word right there. That's a powerful word.
And
Well, y'all,
also,
with that, we're going to go to the inspirational message. Thank you, Isaiah, for sharing. And I'll see you back in a minute. But y'all, inspirational message. It's time for something new. It's time for something new. Listen. So many things are happening all around. It is time for something new. I want to go to this Isaiah passage of scripture for I'm about to do a new thing. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland. Y'all, that's the New Living Translation. For I'm about to do a new thing. See, I have already begun. Do you see it? I want you to just spend some time this weekend saying, okay, what's my new thing? And really did drill down into what that new thing is for you. Again, I told y'all yesterday, Easter is a time that it's time to do something new. Right now, we're going back to biblical times. Right now, Jesus is still walking around, coming back, showing up. People may not recognize who he is, but he comes back for 40 days. 40 days. Things start popping off in a new season, in a new way. Y'all, this is our opportunity to be new. 50 days we go into Pentecost. So from Easter Sunday, 50 days forward, we go into Pentecost Sunday. And y'all, things are about to shift in a great way. And I want you to know it is time for new things. It is time for new. You may look back and say, I want to change some previous content, or I want to change the way I was doing some things, or I want to pull back some old clothing. I'm going to use that as an example. Even when you see a new look that comes from a time maybe in the 50s or 60s, the way people were dressing, although it may reflect that, is still new. It's different. There's a bent to it. There's a twist to it. So don't just go back and pick up and bring something forward. Look at it and say, okay, what worked here? And how can I make it different? How can I change it? How can I make it so that it is brand new? Y'all, our thoughts are new. Our thoughts are new. There are thoughts. Now, when I say quote unquote, there's really nothing new under the sun. Someone has already tried it or done it or said it. There's so many of the same book titles. There's so many of the same articles written with a different bit. There's so many things that different companies are doing, but they have their own brand, their own bit. So look at those things, y'all. I'm trying to encourage you not to be afraid to take the leap. And God is already saying, I'm about to do something new. He's about to do something new, y'all. And he goes, see, I have already begun. Y'all, let's take Isaiah for a reason. There's no mistake that I pulled this scripture out when I was praying and came out of Isaiah right after the interview I had with Isaiah. Y'all, look where this young man is headed. Look at what he's doing. If y'all haven't seen this video on the News in Motion page or the New Salem Missionary Baptist Church page, please go look at it. Look at how he's mentoring young men. Look at how he's hanging out with his friends. Look at his freelance work that he's doing. Y'all, he knows I'm setting him up. He already knows it. One day you're going to come on here, Isaiah's going to be the host because he has a dream and a desire, and I see that. And I'm into wanting to propel him forward. Y'all, it's something new. It's something that's making his heart sing. He's real excited about it. What's making your heart sing? What are you really excited about in this season and those things that you're doing? Latrice Jones going to be mad at me, but that's okay. Y'all, she has been doing this nonprofit for a while. We have had conversations about her nonprofit for a while. Y'all, it's about to be new. It's about to come forward. It's about to be on a national platform because of the work that she's doing and her family that they're doing all the time. They may not talk about it, but they're doing the work. Y'all, it's new. Y'all, these town hall meetings are about to become new. I see in a vision that whether it's this platform or other platforms, people are now being armed with the education that they need to go sit in these meetings and ask questions. See, y'all, we've been afraid to go to something because we don't know what to do. We don't know how to act. We don't know how to dress. That's what we think because they taught us those things. Yeah, we know how to dress. We know how to act, and we know what to do. All we have to do is roll up and say, hello, how you doing? And don't sit in the back. Go sit in the middle. Go sit in the front row. Take a group of you and surround. Don't all sit together. Sit, excuse me, throughout the town hall meeting and just sit there If you have a question, ask a question, but make sure you're listening first to see the agenda items. So, y'all, it's time for us to stand up. It is time for us to stand up. I made a post yesterday of the judge from Florida and her ruling. Today, I'll make the post of the judge from Georgia and her ruling. Y'all, we have to get an understanding of what's really happening. These maps, they're not good. They're not good. They're not good at all. Basically, they're trying to make it so that only the GOP are in charge. But we should have something to say about that. That's our voting power. That's our voice that we're going to highlight and bring out. Y'all can go on and on and on, but just know this. That verse says, for I'm about to do a new thing. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it? Really? That's what he's saying. Really? You don't see this? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. Y'all, we've been in the wilderness, but a pathway is being formed and the light is beaming down on us so that we can see every step that we're making. And it says, I will create rivers in the dry wasteland. Y'all, that means abundance is about to come flowing our way. Actually, it's already begun. We just got to flow in it, swim in it. And don't say, I can't swim. Normally, people say they can't swim. They're afraid to even stand up in shallow water. Listen, you tall enough to stand up, just walk in it. Don't worry about swimming a freestyle breaststroke or backstroke. Just walk in it. Go in the flow. Y'all hold on to this weekend because the rivers are starting. It's already begun to flow. The current is about to pick up. All you have to do is ride the wave. Y'all, I'll see you on Monday, God willing. Until then, I've been Gail Dudley, News in Motion host. Until Monday, I'm out.